Hey
mamas.
mamas. ¿Qué más pues?
Hola bebé, ¿qué más pues?
Do you remember in Turkey Fish, Moo, when Dan was sleeping and we woke him up, like, Dan, ¿cómo es que se llama la canción? Hola bebé, ¿qué más pues? He was so angry. He was like, well, you just woke me up for that. I was like, oh, sorry, bro. We saved you from burning.
No, not even, because we did not save him from burning.
Oh yeah, he still burned. But that's his fault. Sounds like a he problem because he put baby oil on. Who puts baby oil in Turkey weather?
And falls asleep.
Exactly.
Mama's Code.
Wait, I've got a really funny story to tell you. I just really want to talk about this. I saw Jojo's blog about crabs. He went to the fish market with his mum.
It was actually amazing.
And he vlogged the whole thing like David Attenborough on Snapchat and posted it on your Snapchat stories. I swear, I only log on to Snapchat to see these updates.
Yeah, me too, actually, and it brings me joy. And the funniest bit for me is when we take the screenshots and we're like, Erica.
Yeah, I'm oblivious to it all, and it's only when you guys show me I'm kind of like, oh god, he's done it again. Like I told you guys about when he filmed our house and it was like tits up and someone messaged me like laugh out loud and I was like, why are you like, because I don't even get notifications from Snapchat. The only reason I kept it like still there was because my friend messages me through there, or she just sends me videos. And Jojo likes the filters because, you know, they sometimes do like animal filters and stuff. So that's the only reason. But I've turned off the notifications, so I would actually have to go on the app to see if anyone's messaged me. So that's why I don't see that he's posted stuff. It's only when you guys kind of message me and be like, have you seen this?
I find it hilarious, actually, because today was really fun. Actually, we went to Brixton Market, wasn't it? And he went into so much details about the crab and the favourite one and the
and he was
fishes.
Like, and this is he was like, and this is a pet fish and you can put him in a cage, but these fishes are dead.
And he would literally just turn the camera onto his face and it was just like proper zoomed in potato type angle. It was the best.
He was amazed. As soon as we went to buy fish, I was like, look, Jojo, the crabs are alive. And he was like, no, they're not. Because that's his thing now. He disagrees with everything I say. I was like, they are. And you know, because they remain really still. And I was like, if you look at them for a long time, they will eventually move. And yeah, they started moving. And he was just like, oh, I need to call my abuelo to show him this. And then the call to el abuelo turned up in Snapchat. And that's how the vlog happened. Don't leave your phone with your kids, guys.
Well, I was going to say, the lucky, like, the good thing here is that you only have your friends on Snapchat. You don't even use it. You only have your close friends.
But like I said to you guys, even there, like, he's at this age where he kind of knows how to, you know, use these applications. And it's quite scary because I remember on Instagram the other day as well, he went on and he posted a picture of me. And I've told you guys, like, he's just going to post a nude of me one day. And I'm not even going to know because I'm so unaware of what he's doing. And this is what kind of like, you know, it's a scary situation because, you know, at times when like you're just kind of doing your own thing. And then my phone, I don't obviously walk around with my phone and I don't walk around with a handbag to keep my phone inside secure. So I leave my phone around and he knows the code into my phone. And yes, I know people can say, you know, we'll change it. But I will forget, so there's no win-win situation, and it's that's the kind of like the scary situation I'm kind of in at the moment.
It's crazy how they learn, just like they literally just navigate around it. But
it's a reflection.
From when
it's
they're
a
young.
reflection of us. If you think about it, your kids grow up watching you just swipe up, swipe up, swipe up, swipe up.
Yeah,
and so they basically mirror everything you're doing
when you press the button.
So if they see you're always on your phone, yes, they know to press the button, they know to swipe up, they know to go like that to the tap it's basically learnt behavior and it all comes from us. I'm a firm believer that if like obviously you're on your phone and your kids are constantly around you, they're gonna grasp that behavior too.
Well, I was gonna say, like, you know, everyone that like you get the parents that are like, oh no, like I don't believe in screen time and all of this, and my child, it's like, how can you tell your child not to have screen time when you are literally imprisoned into your phone?
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, sometimes if you have a spare minute during the day, or like you'll be scrolling or you'll be texting, or, you know, because our lives are so up to date at the moment, like everything is going fast, everything is happening live, and we're just addicted to knowing what's happening.
Well, I think it's sometimes hard to imagine a world without social media. It has become so integrated into our current culture that it seems like, you know, it's like a necessity. I don't know if you guys sometimes feel like you just go on your phone and you open Instagram and you kind of like, you've seen everything, but you kind of like push up to see that you
mindlessly
have to see, yeah, and it's like, you were on there like 5 minutes ago, you don't have to go back on there, but it just becomes more like an addictive thing. And if you think about it, it wasn't long ago that you wouldn't know what happened to past friends, you know, relatives, unless it was like mentioned. Like I remember, like if I would talk to my mum, I'd be like, oh, she's still alive, like things like that. Now everything's like publicly out there, whereas now we're up to date with everything that's going around the world, basically. Like before, news and stuff, you would have to read a newspaper or actually, you know, go on the TV to see the news. Now it's like anything, like si algo pasa in the next hour, I will go on Instagram, or a pop-up will go on my phone and it would just tell me. It's quite surreal, to be honest.
The thing is, I don't see social media or the internet as a bad thing. Like, it was made, like, you know, to keep up to date, basically. Like, how did Facebook start? How did High Five start? It was to connect with people and socialize, and, you know, like Facebook was there again, like Erica said, oh my God, my school friends, oh my God, they got married, they got kids, they got divorced, they're like living in China.
To stay in touch.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, you know, the concept behind it. And it was good, like, you know, everyone, hence why our parents actually know how to function Facebook, because, you know, they can actually go and talk to their old school friends and whatnot. And then obviously when Instagram came along, it was all about posting like your photos of your food and this and that. And over the years, obviously you get influencers and you get, like, I think it depends what you're using it for. Like, I'm not against it, because I've learned a lot from social media. Like, it's helped me because of the pages I decide to follow and consume, because there was a point where I would just follow every single person because they posted cool pictures or this and that. But internally, it started becoming a thing where you would start thinking, oh, this person is always on holiday, like I want to be on holiday, but you wouldn't do anything about it. And then you would have a shit day because you would think, oh, and then you'd go on to see like their holiday pictures, or you would go see like all these Instagram models and like all these operated bodies and compare yourself. And then it got to a point, like a sickening point, where I was just like, why am I following them if they're not bringing anything good to me? And I started on following so many like female people. Like, firstly, I used to like appreciating a woman's body, but then it was like, it's not bringing anything to me. If anything, it's making me feel shit about myself. And obviously after having the baby, it got even worse. So I decided to only follow pages that will help me out with, say, motherhood. Like, you learn tips, you learn from different, like, you know, when you go on mums.net at like 3 in the morning, and then like fashion stuff or like destinations, because stuff like that, it's like, I like to envision where I want to be traveling to next year, but it's not someone that I'm thinking like I want their lifestyle, because again, you've got Instagram and then reality. So I don't see social media as a negative thing, because again, we're aware of the dangers.
Okay, so we're aware of it, but as you've clearly stated, there's pros and cons to it. I also don't really have like a major issue with it. However, when it comes to discussing whether it's good or bad for kids and determining like what age you should introduce this to your children, that's when it becomes
like when it becomes acceptable.
Yes, it becomes a very tricky question, because I will have a different vision to it, as will Melissa, as will you. Like, we will all not be on the same boat, because there's some mums that will consider their children to have different applications from the age of 4. You know, like I remember reading this article the other day about like social media and stuff, and a woman, she was like, oh, my son's 4 and he really likes Pinterest. And, you know, if you think about it, Pinterest doesn't seem harmful you just like scrolling through pictures. But you've got to have an email to log into Pinterest, right? And to have an email, you have to be a certain age limit. What principles are you teaching your child that you can go against the regulations and like the whole age limit in place? Because it's the same if you think about it, you know, if my kid is 5 and I buy him an 18 plus video game,
it's there to protect your kids.
Exactly. And this is the thing, and for the most part, I don't think social media is to blame, if that makes sense. I think like it's a parenting issue basically, because parents are teaching their children that it's okay to lie. Because if my child is 8 and I'm creating them an Instagram profile just because they want to follow their friends, you shouldn't have Instagram, because Instagram is for, I think, 13 plus.
But don't you think that's also a social media platform thing? Because are you...
Your child at 13 should not have that though.
For example, as Instagram, you're saying that people over, is it 13 that they can have?
I think so. I think it's 13.
So you're saying like, okay, whoever is over this age can have Instagram and can open an account, right?
I'm not saying it's okay. I'm saying that's the legal age that you can open an account.
No, but this is what I'm saying. Instagram makes it legal to open your account at whatever age. For example, like the games for 18. But they're not doing anything to stop underage people being able to open the account. So, but as a company, imagine being able to, like, you have to show proof basically.
But how could you?
Like the same way.
The point here is
the same way.
A kid, digamos, like Joel, if he went on my phone, even if he tried, he wouldn't be able to physically open Instagram because he's 5. He's still learning his numbers.
Yeah,
he's still learning, you know. Like, I'm sure when you guys created your first email address, you probably had to lie on your date of birth. And then once you were like the correct age, you went and changed it back. Because I did that. But it's that's my point I'm making. As a parent, you go and you put in a fake... and how are they going to control that? Yeah, because if I'm a parent and I want to create one, I can do it. I could put Joel Contento, put my date of birth, and bang, he's got an Instagram.
I know, but I'm not saying you're the issue here. I'm saying they could do so much more to do it. The fact that I could update my driving license through the internet, and they can actually verify that it's me and that this is my date of birth and my email. They clearly have a software that they can imply on this.
It's different, Moo, because within social media, they don't care. I can have 7 profiles and they wouldn't care. That's ganancias for them. So you saying for them, like, track who's opening a thing, it doesn't make sense.
No, and this is the point I'm getting to. Obviously, business is business. You know, it's going to bring it in. They don't give a shit. All I'm saying is that the fact that we live in a generation that it doesn't matter if kids are going to suicide themselves, kids are being sexually trafficked through the internet, kids are making, you know, fake accounts and all of... Like, these companies, they don't give a shit, even though they have the software and can control to have the proof of, okay, you can actually legally open this email address without having to, you know...
Again, it's not a social media issue, it's a parenting issue, because you as a parent have to have control of your child.
Mama's Code.
To start off with, would you give Leo a phone at 5 years old?
No, well, probably to shut him up.
But no, I mean his phone, like buy him a phone.
Oh no. Well, what's he going to do with a phone at 5?
Some parents give it to them. You know, because, I want to download TikTok and it's better to have it on my phone. Would you then have control? Like, I know that Joel grabs my phone and we've established, you know, he posts stories left, right and centre. But I'm constantly on my phone, so I always ask for it back.
You're monitoring what he's doing.
But that's the misconception parents have. A predator, if they wanted to, could literally stalk and groom Joel in a second. Yeah. Because predators don't... This is the thing that parents, you know, I'm going to monitor him and I'll be constantly there.
Well, put security things on the internet.
Specifically, predators are not going to come in and appear as an adult. They're going to disguise themselves as a child. And this is what we put a blind eye to. We just think, I will know if it's...
Or that won't happen to us, like I'm controlling him.
Or like, I know what he's posting, I know what he's seeing. Again, going back to your point of, you know, how it makes you feel as a person, of all these accounts you were following, imagine what that does to a person apenas creciendo.
Yeah.
You know, you're mentally okay. Like, you've been through your whole adulthood and
like,
blah,
my
blah,
brain
blah.
is there to understand what's real
Yeah.
and what's not.
Exactly. Kids are not. And again, parenting issue. Because if I'm allowing my child to go ahead of his time, that's on me. That's not on social media. Social media puts terms and conditions for a reason. It's lo mismo. It's like, if Joel's 15, oh, you know, he's going to be 18 soon. Why don't I just buy him like an 18 plus? It's like me basically handing him a porn film. Go on, hun. Go watch porn.
And you know what the reality is, unfortunately, in such a fast-paced world that we live in today, criminals are always 2 steps in front of everything that we do. So you will have these people ready there sitting every time a parent, or every time Instagram or Facebook or TikTok feel like they're in control of a situation, they're already 2 steps forward.
They change so much within their own platforms. I don't know if you always, you know, sometimes when they do updates and stuff, they will tell you if you will agree to the new. It's because of that.
And that freaks me out.
And
that genuinely
literally
scares the living daylight out of me. And we did a poll and we asked, and you know, for me personally, it scares me because do I use social media? Of course I use social media. I use Instagram, not as much as
the Instagram.
Not as much as maybe, I don't know, people our age normally do, but I'm kind of a bit detached, but I still use it. My point, sometimes I feel that if adults, and we're aware and we know the wrong and the right, but sometimes adults like us still fall into traps.
Well, we get catfished.
Exactly, catfished, or we get emails where it says, if you don't send me this, or a text for whatever reason, and then all of a sudden, if you think that a child has a phone at that moment and they receive an email like that, how will they know what is real and what isn't real? Because all they see is what they're reading at that moment to say, I have this of you, and in order for me to not post it or whatever, I need you to give me this, or I need you to send me that. And that is the danger.
It's cyberbullying, no? How many influencers and you know, people that are verified, how many suicides have there been because of that? And it's the same people that write RIP under the same bullies are writing this. And it's like, you know, oh, she got fat a little bit. It's because you're so much in the public eye. And I know we choose to show what we want to, you know, portray on these platforms. But again, like Moo was saying, you know, oh, this one has like the perfect relationship, or this one has a banging body.
And if you're not mentally strong in that moment, you're going to believe it.
Yeah. And you have to think, like, flipping it over to that person always posting that, you know, perfect body. If she one day lets go or stops editing her pictures or anything, people are just going to criticize her.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like a, you know, it's just a whirlwind of emotions everywhere, because like you almost have to live this perfect life on these platforms to satisfy people. And you get the other people that just live for likes and shares, and you know, they want, and it's like they're determined to get as many likes, so they start, you know, following trends. So if I wear this, you know, let's say Kylie Jenner got lip injections and she got her body done, so I'm gonna go do that. That's not really, you know, role models we want our daughters and our sons to grow up to be.
And that's how it all started. A girl decided, oh, actually, I'm going to post a picture in my bikini. And then she got 1,000 likes. So the other girl was like, oh my God, like if I show a bit of skin. And now what would you get on Instagram? Fucking, you know, all these basically girls in thongs. And you even get those Instagrams when they're all in like all these sexual positions. And yeah, maybe they don't last so long on Instagram because they get reported or whatnot. It's so accessible to do that you just get carried away into it. Again, if you're not mentally, you know, stable or matured enough to be on the platforms and on the internet.
And let's be real as well, when a picture goes up, it doesn't need to be there for a minute before it gets the attention it needs. So even if it comes down, a picture or a video has already been seen by God knows how many thousands of people, and how many people will screenshot it, how many people will screen record it. And yes, it might come off of this Instagram page or this Facebook post or whatever, but someone already has another copy, and then it just starts tumbling. So it becomes kind of out of control for then people to try and stop something.
Someone close to us, I remember she was young at this point, and she opened her Instagram, right? I think she was underage too. And I remember she obviously followed me, and her page was open. So, you know, it's like a young girl, she just wants people to follow her and stuff. She posted a picture sucking a lollipop. This is an innocent little girl.
Yeah.
Right? I remember going on it and I went straight to the comments because that's what we do. And I went to the comments and then there was a grown-ass man saying the most disgusting thing ever. And I remember, like, I was, like, thrown back and I was like, are you serious? And all she said, she commented, she was like, thanks. What? Thanks.
And the thing is that also comes first from probably the little innocence that she has in her, and second, the attention she's getting. So she's like, oh my God, yeah, I got another like, or oh yeah, I got a comment, thank you.
They don't see the harm.
In that moment, they don't see the harm. They don't see the dangers that they can be putting themselves in.
Well, kids don't see danger.
Yeah,
and that's the thing here. It's not about depriving kids or saying, oh, you can never go on social media, because social media is a part of them. Like, it's easy for us that we grew up
without it,
not knowing about internet, whereas our children, let's say, internet
the
is
new generation.
It's a necessity for them. You know, everything is around internet. Like, if you look at the quarantine, had it happened to us back in our time, we wouldn't have survived it, because how would teachers teach us if there was no good internet? Whereas now, you know, look how many people, like companies were providing work, and, you know, there was like online lessons. It's all because of the internet. So there's good and there's bad, but it's our duty. It's not social media's duty. It's not no one's duty apart from us as parents to educate our children. It's not about depriving our children and saying, oh, well, you know, no. Because just about porn, like we've touched on this before, you know, our parents never spoke to us about periods, never spoke to us about if it's going to hurt or not the first time we have sex. Like, it's little things like this that would have impacted us, because we would know a little bit more, so we would be more prepared, and we wouldn't perhaps rush into different scenarios had we been taught these things before. It goes down to internet. You have to explain to a child the dangers of it. And yes, as a child, you're carefree, so sometimes you're just going to be like, oh, that, you know, my mum's like overreacting. But you need to go out there and search. Like, there's videos, you know, I think I sent you guys the videos the other day of like this crime team looking for predators, and one of the teams dressed up as a little girl, so she portrayed, and they literally gave her a new identity. The amount of guys that were after her, and literally in that program, because they grabbed one, and when they searched his computer, they found out that predators can be grooming 50 to 100 kids at one time.
That's disgusting, and that's
absolutely
scary.
mental.
That is so scary to think of.
Mama, I love you.
Don't you remember that guy? I can't remember his name. That the police like set him up basically, and he thought he was going to meet this 12-year-old girl, and he, you know, the bold guy, the little guy, and he was like, oh, and you know, he had like some sort of disability, but it's like, even so, like, he clearly had the mentality that he knew this girl was underage. Yeah. He knew she was 12 and he was like 30 or something. But there he was going to meet her after a text message.
No, and he lied.
Yeah, he lied so many times.
He was like, I didn't know she was 12. And then when the police confronted him, we've seen that you've been grooming other girls. Oh, I didn't know that. And now he wants to use his disability to his favour. Nah, mate.
I think it's a very scary world.
It's absolutely sickening.
It's so accessible to everyone and anyone, and that we don't have control of. So I think definitely the fact of educating and being aware and being up to date, because the internet is forever changing. So what we think is scary now might not be the same thing when, let's say, our youngest and our babies are, I don't know, 10. And that's another thing, at what age, because kids seem to be getting younger and younger by the minute. Children or girls at 12, they look about 16. When I was,
you mean older and older?
Yeah, exactly. They get older by the minute. What did I say?
Younger and younger.
Bloody hell. Oh dear, I'm tired, man. Older and older by the minute. So, you know, it's about keeping up to date, and in a way, our parents didn't have to maybe worry so much about this because it wasn't as accessible for us. It was there, but maybe not as accessible as it is now. And I remember being in school and having one IT lesson a week, and it was so excited. We had these big computers where we sat, and
all we did was go on Paint.
Yeah, and when I would get home, you know, I would use the go on MSN or whatever, but my mum would just have to pull the plug and that's it. There was no internet. I didn't have a phone, not at that point.
And you're in mid conversation, like you're like, oh baby, pero
Yeah.
can I see you after school?
and that, you know, that was it. And then I remember having to beg my parents for a phone, but then even then I didn't have the internet on it. It was just kind of
to play Snake.
To play Snake, calls and texts, and that was it. But now it's kind of expected that children have iPads from early on because schools use iPad, and there's so many amazing things that you can use with technology, but there's also the very dark side that you need to be aware of, and I don't think it's responsible to shut your mind from it because it's real and it's happening, and it's so easy to happen to anyone.
I think because you've touched like the age, you know, although age is one factor in determining whether or not a child is ready for the pressures of and risks of, you know, social media and stuff, that's only one of the many variables that should be considered. What other things do you guys think should be considered within that? Because this is the thing, like, I think the thing that we kind of all agree on is we can't, in this day and age, we can't say, no, our kids are not going to have social media, because they are. And this is one of the main factors. It's our kids are, like, you know, you guys know that Jojo hasn't had like a PS3 or PS4. He doesn't have a Nintendo, none of that, because we, from a get-go, we said we don't want our child to be stuck on the TV playing video games, right?
There will be an age for that.
Yeah.
But it's all determined to the parent. Like, so it's based on what you think as a parent, because he's now started reception, and when he started, all his friends were talking about Nintendo. All his friends were talking about games, and it was all he spoke about. And he would come home and he would literally just go on and on and on about it. Oh, you know, so-and-so played this game. And he started, bear in mind, he started a reception in September. And for his birthday, I remember he clearly asked for a Nintendo and a TV in his room.
Yeah, I remember you saying that, and I was like, wait, who?
Because of the pressure.
Exactly.
And you start getting bullied for it. Like, the same way we were bullied for not having, I don't know, the latest sneakers or whatever. We had probably Puma or Diadora from like Lily Whites or something. But our friends had Nikes. And we'd come home like, oh, just me and my
market training.
Yeah, me and my Diadoras. Let me just clean them with some fairy liquid or something. But and that was the thing in the day, you know, if you didn't look cute on non-uniform day, you would feel bullied, right? Yeah. So it's like, imagine that now.
But now it's more of a pressure, because before you couldn't play with Nike trainers, so it was just the trend of the fashion that you had to be in. Now it's like, if Joel was to go, say, like, to his friend's house, and his friends doesn't want to play, like, it's happened before, you know, Joel will go to a friend's house and his little friend would like play on Nintendo because she knows how to play on it. Joel doesn't. Joel has no clue what to do, but he's so intrigued, and the little girl's like, oh, you don't do it like that, you do it like this. And I can see in my child's face that he's so upset because he doesn't know how to do this.
Yeah.
And it's almost like everyone's one step ahead of him, and he's still kind of like at the back with us because we haven't given him that opportunity. And that's what I talk about in not depriving your children from these things. It's all about having a balance and kind of like a plan around it, you know? Just the same as with screen time, like, you're not going to let your child watch TV from day to night. It's a balance about it, and there kind of has to be a routine. So like Fish was saying, you know, when she could go on the internet, but it was a thing where, you know, okay, hasta aquí llegó, your mum will unplug it. Unfortunately, we can't do that because it doesn't work like that. But we have to arrange something that works for us now. And so we need to kind of come to terms with, yes, our children are going to be exposed to this, but also educate ourselves because, you know, we know just what's above the surface. We have not gone deep down into it.
Yeah.
You know, every day sale más y más applications. TikTok is one of those. I don't know if you guys saw that it's going to get banned, basically.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Yeah, but now Instagram's gone and done Reel.
Yeah, I was going to say that, and I saw that today, and I was like, wait, what? It's like something gets closed off because of whatever allegations, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, we've already been cooking this, and hey, yo, guys.
And that's the thing, but it's because TikTok was seen as a lot of predators, and because everyone can see your profile.
So you can't do a private profile on TikTok?
You can, and you can save your videos to only your friends see. But again, like Erica was saying, you can have predators signing in as little girls or little boys. So it's like, how are you going to know who's on the other side of the screen?
And you're not going to get TikTok to send it to your friends. Why add another platform where you can do that elsewhere, you know?
But I think it's definitely about controlling. Like my little sister, she's 9. I hope she's 9, because that would be very bad if I don't know how old she is. But she's 9, and she got given a phone. Like, you know when you get an upgrade and the old phone is just thrown in the... She got given that phone. She was allowed to download WhatsApp with just her family contact. And she gets...
But again, WhatsApp is 16 plus. Because it goes down to, you know, when we were growing up and there was this whole, like, you know, getting fake ID so we can get into clubs. If you went and told your parent, oh, I'm going to get a fake ID, she'll be like, what? No. But then you will lie for something else. So my mum would never accept any of that. You know, like this whole fake ID shit, she'll just not fall for it. She'll just be like, you're your age. Like, you have to do things
at your age. Yeah.
My mum would always say that to me. I'll be like, mum, I want this. And she'll be like, And I'll be like, but es que this person has this or that person has this.
Yeah.
And she would always say, todo su tiempo. And I used to kind of like get annoyed at that, because I'd be like, come on, what does todo su tiempo mean? Like, what if my tiempo is now? But now that I'm older, now that I have my own child, I'm like, damn, todo su tiempo. Like, literally, now I get what you mean. Because it's true.
It's like you're literally growing up before your time.
Or you're kind of like... Because we live in such a fast-paced world anyway, so we're almost like we're always running and rushing, and then everyone wants to be over there, but no one wants to be here, and it's too much.
Well, this is where I was going with my sister's story, that she's allowed her phone from 5 to 6 p.m, like literally 1 hour. She's sitting in the living room where someone is, you know, there. She loves to put a filter on. I hate seeing children use filters, not the animal ones and the funny ones, but especially girls when they put a filter of makeup and, oh, my eyelashes look big, and I got rosy cheeks and my lips look a bit plumpy. It's like, you're 9, you're 5, you're however old you are. Why are you making this accessible to them? For them to think I don't look pretty without a filter on. Because she literally, like, she came the other day and she said to me, oh my God, that she saw that I had TikTok, and she was like, oh, can we do a TikTok? I was like, yeah, come, let's do it. And then she was like, oh no, but we should add a filter because it makes me look better. Look at my hair. And I was like, in my head, I was like, fair enough, your hair looks a bit mad right now. But why does that matter? You're 9, like, you're a little girl. Like, this shouldn't be taking up your energy and your brain cells, basically. So it's like when people like post, you know, their kids with Snapchat filters, it really like boils me, because it's just like, what are you obviously when they're little babies, I know we've all done that because they look really cute, but when they're at an age where they start comparing themselves to, oh, but actually I look cuter with longer eyelashes or makeup on, it's like, are you not a bit too young?
But it's about self-esteem. So your little sister already thinks, well, no, I don't look fine the way I look now, so I have to keep up with everyone else. So she must see, like, obviously if she goes to your house or she's with her other sister and she sees, because kids are metidos, let's be honest, like they'll be up in your phone, like, oh, what's that? Like, Joel, when I'm on my phone, and I'm laughing, he'll literally be up on my phone like, oh, I want to see, and I'm like, no, like, stay away.
Do you know the point you said about makeup? I sometimes try my hardest when I do put anything of makeup, that I try to, one, not do it around Maya, and if I do it around Maya, I feel a bit wrong, because if I'm doing it, that's me, but I don't want her to feel like, oh, well, this is just the norm. Like, one day, I mean, I know she's only little and I'm probably thinking too much, but, you know, I don't want her to kind of feel like it's expected of you to wear makeup, if that makes sense.
Makeup in real life is fine.
No,
but there's actually,
I know.
like, the filters kids and adults are using, it's not real life.
But you say makeup
and it's like,
is fine.
You physically get addicted to, like, I've been around people that, you know, they can't go out a day without airbrushing their face. Yeah. And it's like, you do know you're going to have to go out on the streets and people are going to be like,
like, you know, if you go missing, what picture are we showing?
Are you going to use? Yeah, because you don't look nothing like that. But, and like these filters usually like
makes you skinny, in your face. Yeah. Pinch your nose, make your lips bigger. Yeah. But you say makeup is fine, but actually, let's say when I would put makeup on, why was I putting on makeup? Because I didn't feel confident, because I would have scars from when I had spots, and so I would cover them up, because for me it was my way of masking that and make myself feel confident. When you look at your children, when I look at Maya, she doesn't have, in my eyes, an imperfection. So it's, you know, I want her to, if she wants to wear makeup when she's older, that will be her decision, but not something where I'm like, oh well, mum, I see mummy do it, so I guess I'll do it, kind of thing. But with these filters, I don't know how it's acceptable. Like, I don't know how it's okay to put them out there. I know that children can probably use it and then think that that's what they're meant to look like, or that's how beautiful, or that's what beauty is, if that makes sense.
From the get-go, where like, and I think talking about what you're saying, it goes down to you, how you parent Maya. So you already do it, you know, you're beautiful, blah blah blah. I, for one, I didn't wear makeup until like I was like 17, and my mum was on the other edge of you, because she would be like, échese polvo, échese algo en los labios que está toda pálida. She would always encourage me to do it, but I didn't like it because I didn't see the need to. Like, I didn't have spots. My lips, I even now, I don't like wearing lipstick. Like, I don't do the whole shebang of makeup. And, you know, you guys have seen, like, sometimes I try to follow tutorials and I look the same. It's a waste of time.
Look what I've done. And I was like, what? It's like, I've done this. I was like, mate, I can't. You look exactly the same.
Like, oh, are you trying to be Harley Quinn?
Yeah, so it's again, her seeing you put, and you don't do anything extravagant.
No, I mean, I can't even do eyeliner.
Exactly.
Yeah, you keep it natural.
It's not a thing where she's gonna be like, oh, you know, like even like she might one day get like a little makeup set, and it's fine, because it's not her saying, well, I need this. It's more the fact that as she grows up, like digamos, Jess's little sister's age, if she gets to the point where she doesn't feel confident taking a normal picture from her selfie camera without a filter, there's an issue there. Because, and this is what these platforms do, they create no self-esteem for yourself. And then, like Jess has mentioned, you know, then you get the Instagram and comparing your body, and oh, you know, well, this person here that I know, she bought a house and we're the same age. Why am I not on that page? What is she doing that I'm not doing? And you start questioning all these things. Like, our lives are already so complicated for us to then add that extra pressure. Oh, that one, she just had a baby. Everyone's on me now, you know? Like, because we're so informed of everything that's going around, there's just no winning with anyone.
It's definitely all a balance, and it's like, I've said this a lot. So I think I was having a conversation with Erica that we need to raise our children with a strong leader mentality and mindset, because the fact that, for example, us three, the fact that we weren't influenced by our friends when we were younger to do stupid shit, like do drugs or do, you know, go out to fields and get drunk or whatever. Like, we weren't, like, we had friends around us that were like, or, you know, the girls that were with one guy here, one guy over there, and people smoking, you know, we had the bad influences around us, but our mentality and the way we were raised were like, no, that's wrong. We will choose certain things that weren't major to us, and we thought, okay, like, for example, bunking. I was one that my parents were like, don't bunk. But I thought, this isn't really that major. Like, I'll bunk once. I'm not saying it's right, and I'm not saying our kids won't do it or anything, but we were raised with that strong mentality of like, I'm not going to be fooled by people. And this is what we need to do with our kids.
In saying that, would you not agree that the way we parent our kids now will affect them somehow in not being strong mentally? Because if you like, let's look at it in this way. Why are you mentally strong? Why have you been able to not fall under these? Was it because your parents were very strict? Because if you think about it now, kids get away with a lot of things. Like, I, for one, I can put my hand up. Kaden literally walks over my head. Whereas with Joel, I was very strict. But now Joel sees that I'm very soft with Kaden. So now he tries to, you know,
push it.
Yeah, he literally does. And like I was saying to you guys, he's gotten into this habit that he's just like, no. And I'm like today I was like, we're going to sleep. But look, it's daytime. I'm not going to go to sleep. And I'm like, no, we're going to go to sleep. No, I'm not. And it's like, I would never be able to do that to my mum. So in you saying that, do you think we still need to be very strong with them? Like, obviously, I'm not saying beating them, because
just firm in our words and in the way we're teaching them the lesson.
But what if that doesn't work?
It's a hard one.
You have to think, we're the last generation that are going to be tough cookies to break, because the way we're going, the internet's just going to get worse and worse, and our kids are just going to derail, to be honest.
You know, I've said it so many times, and it really scares me, the fact that we can only do as much as we can at home. Like, it's the harsh truth, and it's scary, and it fucking... Honestly, I don't know if you guys have watched that film, Beautiful Boy. The way I cried with this film, the way it hit a nerve, because it's like, I can't believe that this boy had a beautiful family. His parents were dedicated to him, to giving him the best. They were firm with him and everything. They did everything the way you'd think this is the way. What did he do? I'm going to get into drugs. Did he not freaking try kill himself and overdose so many times? And he literally became someone so unknown that his parents were like, forget him, like basically disown him. And it's it's scary to think, again, we can only do as much, but when so much internet, so much society out there, so, you know, when there's so much going on, it's kind of out of our control. Like, how much can we control? And like Erica said, how are we going to ensure that we're raising this child with a strong mind, and we're doing the best we can, and the way, like, if we were to try raise our children the way we were raised, will we have the same
no.
You
know, would it equal the same person? Not really.
It's quite scary thinking about it, don't you guys think?
It's scary, and
because there's no balance. Because like now, like, obviously, like you guys were saying, like, it's hard because you can't control everything that's happening. You can control like a small percentage of it, and like, say, like, within the world, like, things are just so messed up as it is, and you can try to be lenient and stuff with your kids and strict, but they go to school and they pick up on different behaviors. They get in with the wrong crowds.
Yeah, I think parenthood in itself is just the biggest and most hardest job anyone will ever do, because the responsibility you have is major, and everyone wants to make sure that their kids are decent human beings and grow up to be kind and you know, all right people. No one wants to I don't know, have a child and you know, God forbid something horrible happens to them, or like,
what if you're raising a bully?
Exactly. They, you know, and there's all these things that probably keep a lot of parents up at night. And I always think, you know, I try not to think too far ahead of how things might work or how I might do things, but actually it kind of starts from the very beginning. So it's not when, let's say, Maya turns 6, I'm going to start doing this. No, actually, you need to start from like right now and from before. Tweak it along the way wherever you think is best, and even then you still keep yourself up at night because you're worrying about things in the future. So it is a very scary world out there.
Like, you're basically hoping for the best
whilst trying your best as well.
Do you think you'd be okay to give your child a phone when they go secondary school?
100%. I think secondary school is more acceptable.
I say it, and even maybe before secondary school, I would be okay with it, because this is the thing. Me as a parent, and you guys know how intense I am, I have had this conversation with Ollie, and he's like, oh, when will you let Joel go to school by himself? I'm like, probably year 7. He's like, what? Why not year 6? I'm like, no, he's still a child. But you have to think, will my kid want me to go pick him up? I don't want to be the embarrassing parent showing up and, like, you know, like, we've been through it when you just want to walk with your little crowd of friends. But then in my mind, I'm thinking, what if that's a bad crowd?
But see, I was that kid that my parents would pick me up, and actually now I look back and I think I'm an idiot for even wanting to get on a bus. Like, why would I want to get on a bus when my dad could pick me up? And then when my parents did,
but it's that, Fish, it's you being around your friends. It's that, like, now, like, I remember when I was in school, I hated school, absolutely hated it. When I look back at it, it was like the best time of my life. I got to see my friends every single day. I don't see you guys in like years. And I complained like before when I used to see my friends every single day. I'm like, what is wrong? And I remember when my nephew was growing up and he would like hate going. I would be like, I promise you, once you finish school, you're going to want to go back. And he's 20 now and he's like, yeah, definitely. I agree with you.
Mama's Code.
I don't know if this is a tip.
I think it's more of an advice at this for this combo.
Of educating. You have to educate, because if we're not educating them, we're not empowering them to navigate situations that are potentially dangerous. So if you don't teach your child of the wrongs that are surrounding the internet, they will have no clue. You know, if you're scared to tell your child, oh, you know, a predator might come in, like, and this is the thing, I wouldn't have thought before predators would go in and like pretend to be little girls. I just thought they went straight in, like, you know, I want a picture of your dick. That's what in my mind, I envisioned. When you start researching and you see all the possibilities that these people use to linger into these other kids' accounts and stuff, they usually start off, so they will handpick the kids they want to molest, and then they will get into their circle of friends and start one by one. And kids, naturally, you guys obviously are not in that little phase at the moment, but Joel, any person he plays with, it's his best friend. And that's how kids grow up, you know. Joel could easily get molested, and I obviously, God forbid, but because he's so kind and, you know, he doesn't see evil, he would easily just be like, oh yeah, hi, and then start talking to random strangers. And like we've all been taught, you know, don't talk to strangers, but at the same time, what if someone just wants to be kind? You know, if you tell your child they can't talk to absolutely no one outside you, what are you teaching them? What if someone just wants, you know, like when you go to the park and like another mum comes up to you and like your kids start playing, you're talking to her, she's a complete stranger. So what are you teaching your child? And I think another thing, we should research exit strategies for our kids and teach them ways in where if they find themselves trapped in a situation, in a dangerous situation, how they can get out of it.
100%.
I think the main priority here is having a good relationship with your child, where they don't feel scared if they've, you know, maybe, you know, like when you go on sites and like a porn website will come up.
Like a pop-up.
Yeah, like if you're scared and you're trying to like scroll down, have that confidence to tell your child about these things. Don't hide it, because the more open you are, the more open your child will be with you.
Erika for president.
Mic drop.
But yeah, no, definitely, like talking about online safety and exit strategies is paramount, because it will literally get you out of so many issues in the future.
Well, it's the same way as like our parents would teach us their telephone numbers and the address in case we get lost.
Yeah. But see, that was the exit strategy there, whereas for us
now,
yeah,
because they had no more.
And it's crazy how much has changed
and how much will change.
Exactly.
That's why keeping up to date.
Exactly. And like we've said, like it's not about removing the danger from our kids. We can't. We're not always going to be there. We've established this throughout the whole episode. We can only control a small amount of what our kids will go through in life. So it's absolutely vital for the safety of our kids for us to teach and educate them. Because if we don't, and we're just, you know, taking all the danger away from them, they're going to absolutely collapse in life.
And I think that's a wrap. Mama's Code out. Mwah.
Mama's Code.
When you said about the being scared when the pop-up comes out, has it ever happened to you that you're on public transport and you go open the internet and the porn website is still there?
No.
Definitely alone on that one.